What's up, Infected? It's Wolf with the Quarantine. So, this video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. So, as some of you may have already noticed, it's been several months since I've posted a video at all. And I had thought I recorded this, because I did, but then I don't know what happened to the video footage, whatnot, and then I just kind of lost track of it, forgot about it. So, long story short, because I figure I owe some kind of an explanation on what's going on and why I haven't posted anything. So, the part of the reason why I didn't post anything is it's been increasingly more difficult for my game group to reliably get together more than like once a week. And because of that, it was getting to the point where I really was the only games I was ever playing were games that I had to get reviewed or previewed or anything like that. I never got to play any of the games that I buy or that I have on my wall and that I really like. I never really got to play any of those ever. So that was getting increasingly more frustrating. Because there's a reason why I have those games still on my wall is I like playing them, and I just would never really get the chance to. And because my gaming group has been increasingly less reliable, and not in a bad way, like work's been getting in the way, kids and just personal lives and stuff like that, which I understand. And it's really kind of difficult to review games if I can't reliably get people together to play them. So, and it was stressing me out and building on top of everything. Plus, finals were coming up with school, and it was just to alleviate stress. I figured I'm just going to go on a hiatus temporarily until the semester ended. But what wound up happening is at that point, I've been doing this for, I don't know, 4 years, something like that. And like 4 or 5 years, and I haven't even broken 1,000 subscribers. And it's a little disheartening doing this for 5 years and not even over 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm just under the limit of actually being able to withdraw like some money from my the Google Analytics thing, where Google actually pays you. I'm actually just under that because right as I was about to go over the amount that you're allowed to withdraw, they cut funding, and now I have to have 1,000 subscribers to even get monetization. So I'm kind of screwed there, and all of that added up, just super disheartening. And I hear people all the time, well, if you enjoy doing it, you should keep doing it. And I hate that, because I do not like that mentality for a couple reasons. A, I love reviewing games. I love learning new games. I like playing new games, stuff like that. That's part of why I started reviewing games. Sorry about that. One of my alarms was going off to remind me to take my drugs. But anyways, I hate that saying because, as I mentioned, I love playing new games. I like learning new rule sets and new mechanisms and seeing how some of these just really, really clever game designers take existing mechanics and mesh them together in new ways and new mechanics, and I love it. It's so fun, and that's why I started reviewing games, because I like learning new games, and I don't have the money to go out and buy all of the new games every month that come out to learn these, so I figure by reviewing games I could get copies of them to learn these new rules and explain, why these are cool, why these aren't, stuff like that. And I love doing it. However, if all it does is stress me out because I can't get people together, if the only time I'm ever getting people together is to play review games and I never get to play games that I want to play, it's nothing but stress. So because if I could consistently get a couple people together once every week or two for the sole purpose of reviewing, on top of like my game day every week, usually Fridays or Saturdays, be able to play the games we want to play, then it wouldn't be a big deal. Plus, I don't think people realize just how much work goes into a review, having to play the same game multiple times. Sometimes that game is fucking garbage. Sometimes the game's amazing and you have no problem playing it a bunch of times, like Nemesis. That game is amazing. We played it, even after the review, we played it probably half a dozen times after the review, and I got my new copy of Nemesis in, and I've played it already 2 or 3 times. But then sometimes you get other games that are just awful, but you have to play it several times. Well, I do anyways, to be able to get a decent idea of it. And then on top of that, the editing, even though I don't do a whole lot of editing, the editing still takes time. You have a schedule you have to go by. You have to keep track of, okay, I got this game this time. My 30-day window of, it'll take up to roughly around 30 days to get a review out. I got to keep track of when I got it. Make sure I can get it played so many times, make sure I can get my thoughts together because I don't script anything, and then get it recorded, and then get it edited, and get it uploaded, and then Google's stupid algorithm that I got to comply with, and it's a lot of work. And with very little payoff in terms of subscriber count, stuff like this, it makes me wonder if it's worth it. To give you an idea, since I've stopped, temporary hiatus right now, I've gotten to play games that I want to play, and it's been less stressful because I don't have to worry about that. It's kind of a bummer, but I've been able to play the games I want to play. I've gotten to play games that have been sitting on my wall for 2 years that I've gotten to play once or twice. So that's part of the reason why I got on a temporary hiatus. And then on top of that, I started looking into a bunch of other YouTube channels, which is a terrible idea, that started years after me, who have been doing this for maybe a year or 2 or even 3, and they're 3 and 4 and 5 times more subscriber counts and view counts than I am. So that also adds to the disheartening factor. So all of that kind of wrapped up, I just kind of lost all my motivation to do it. Now, with that said, I'm not completely abandoning the quarantine. I don't know when, but I do intend on picking everything back up and starting to do reviews again. If I can get even one other person, basically kind of do a Rado thing where I play games 2 players and stuff, or something. If I can find something, one person reliably, that I can play these games with to get a good review sense, and it doesn't interrupt me being able to play games that I like and that I want to play, then I'll probably come back. With that said, though, obviously I'm doing something wrong, or something. I'm not breaking the mold, or I'm not I'm samey to everybody else, or whatever. For whatever reason, I'm not getting numbers. My numbers are not going up at all. I'm getting 1 or 2 subscribers a month. If I don't even, and that's if I don't lose subscribers on top of that. So sometimes I get negative. Sometimes I only go up 1 or 2 subscribers. And unfortunately, numbers mean a lot in the industry. When I reach out to companies, a lot of the time they're like, you're not. They basically are like, you're not big enough, so no. So it sucks, and that adds more stress because now I'm trying to figure out a way to get my subscriber count up and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out a way to rework the channel to where I'm not like everybody else, that I do my own thing. One of the ideas that I have is I'm thinking about making basically do a Francis where I have a personality, a character for the channel, and do reviews. And on top of that, like I've mentioned numerous times, I hate doing the overview of games. I hate it so much because if I accidentally get a rule wrong or anything like that, people think that it invalidates the entire review. And a lot of the time when I get a rule wrong, it's either something that it doesn't really affect the gameplay too much, and it's the review is still pretty much going to be the same, or I just misspeak during the recording and I don't catch it until after the fact, or I miss rules and stuff. So I hate it's just a lot to keep track of. It tacks on so much, and it's a big headache. So that's why I cut that out almost entirely, and then I did just a very brief, like, this is kind of how you play, and I kind of want to stick to that format. But I'm thinking about not even doing that format, just doing a final thoughts, because whenever I watch reviews, I skip everything and generally just go straight to the final thoughts, because if I wanted to learn how to play the game, I'm not going to watch a tutorial to learn to play the game. I'm going to go find a tutorial to learn to play a game. I'm watching a review to get why it's good, why it's bad, what cool mechanics does it have, stuff like that. And I don't want to watch this huge rule explanation that takes 10-15 minutes. A lot of the reasons why there's several reviewers that I don't like watching a whole lot, or I'll skip to the end, just because I don't care much for that. So if I go back to start doing reviews, I'm probably gonna start doing that instead, where I just do the final thoughts. I'm not going to talk about the game. I'm not going to explain the rules unless it's like why this mechanic's cool or why this mechanic's garbage and stuff like that. And I was thinking about being a lot more vulgar and a lot more me, because me off camera, I'm kind of I don't give a shit, and I'm very inappropriate and not very user friendly. So I'm probably gonna dabble into that and try how that works. All of these I'm probably gonna, over the next probably, I don't know, year, 6 months, month, whenever I get the motivation to go back to do it again. I'm probably going to start with the games that I own, reviewing them. So spoilers, they're probably going to be good reviews, because if they're still on my wall, there's probably a reason for that. So with that said, also here soon, Sisters of Battle for Warhammer 40,000 are coming out again, or should be coming out. It's my favorite Warhammer 40,000 army. So unfortunately, I'm probably going to get back into 40k. So with that said, I'll probably wind up having more battle reports for that reason. We also, a friend of mine plans on doing a kill team game, which if that's the case, I might record that. Let me know if there's anything any ideas, thoughts, anything like that that might help down in the description. Like I said, I really, between not being able to get people together reliably to be able to play games for review, and also be able to get people together to, because my town sucks for board games. It's not a very big community out here. I could probably count on like 2 hands total the number of people who play games around here. But between that, the fact that over the past 5 years I have not grown at all, or barely grown. So it's a lot of work with very little payoff, and the fact that other reviewers they blow up for some strange reason, and I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong as opposed to them, and it's not worth the headache, or it hasn't been worth the headache. So that's basically what's going on. I meant to get this video out much sooner than this, but I forgot effectively, and yeah, so I don't think that the quarantine is just dead and it's gone. It may be, I don't know, but as of right now, I do intend on bringing the channel back. I've just got to dive into what I want to do with it, what I'm going to do, because obviously what I'm doing now is not working, so I've got to figure something out to I don't know, do something, make it a little more worth it, a little bit more of a payoff, effectively. And I know some people are gonna have like a, oh, if you blah blah blah, blah kind of attitude. I don't know what that was about, but you know, fuck it, that's how I feel. So whatever. So stick around if you are interested in maybe what the future holds, or unsubscribe. Either way, I don't really care. Well, not that I don't really care. If you unsubscribe, I don't really care. But if you stick around, I appreciate it. I may or may not continue. I don't know. So I guess I'll see you when I see you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time, if there is one, in the quarantine.